Hello, I'm glad you could join me today. My name is Kali, and today we'll be talking about what is the higher self. Most of the information I'll be referencing today comes from this book, The Law of One, or the Raw Material, Book 2. And this is a huge channeled work, over 100 interviews, divided into 5 books. So, what is the higher self? The higher self is also known as the future self or the oversoul. The term oversoul comes from the Seth material, which is another channeled work. The higher self is like the original version of us that wanted to expand its consciousness and awareness. It wanted to evolve. And so, in order to do this, it created other versions of itself so that it could live many lives or existences at the same time. It's it's like a soul complex with individual souls, including you. And the higher self acts like a coordinator or a director and a guide for this soul complex. Two analogies to illustrate this concept are firstly that if you have a lit candle, you can light many other candles from that original candle. Each of the candles will have their own stem and their own flame and burn in their own way, but essentially it's all the same flame. Another example is that of radio stations. We can tune radio stations on a radio by moving the button to different frequencies. When we're on a specific frequency, we'll hear the radio station on that frequency. We still know all the other stations are there somewhere, but they're on a different frequency. And we can move the dial to that frequency and then hear a different station. But they're all operating in the same system and they all exist at the same time. We're just seeing them as individual stations when we're listening to them. So you are one of these candle flames or one of these radio stations in this soul complex. The higher self will choose lessons and experiences that it wants to have in order to evolve, and then it will assign certain lessons and certain experiences and circumstances to the various versions of itself. These might look like other lives on earth at other times, or the present time, or future times, might look like other lives on other planets and in other dimensions. So even though the higher self assigns different life experiences and different lessons to each individual soul, it doesn't take away each soul's free will. It doesn't write your destiny or control you. So you still have your free will. You are free to face the challenges in whatever way you want. You can face them well or you can face them badly. It's your choice. But everything that you choose and everything that you experience becomes instantly incorporated back into the higher self soul complex. So the higher self is the only soul in the complex that can see every other soul. And it does this at the same time because where it is, time doesn't exist. So it's existing in a kind of a parallel universe or multiverse, as we like to say these days. So you have an important role to fulfill in your higher self soul complex. If you really try hard to evolve by expanding your consciousness and awareness in this life, then you'll have a better and bigger contribution to add into the whole. We are currently in the third dimension, or the third density, as the law of one refers to it. And in each higher dimension or density, we will align more and more with our higher self. And at the end of the sixth density, all of the individual souls in the soul complex will reunite with the higher self. So this higher self soul complex system only exists to the end of the sixth density or dimension. So how do we align with our higher self or evolve? This is a huge topic, and so I'm only going to summarize a few things here, but I do talk about this extensively in my other videos about how to evolve. So firstly, we have to accept and face our challenges in the 3D earthly realm, our mental, physical, and emotional challenges. So we do this, in summary, by exploring our shadow side, forgiving, exercising gratitude, letting go, and generally moving into the divine part of ourselves, which can emanate as love, as the love aspect in ourselves. So choosing to love people even in difficult circumstances. Secondly, we can expand our consciousness and awareness beyond this 3D physical realm while we're still alive, while we're still in this body. We all know that our physical senses do not show us the entirety of what's here. Science has told us that we only see about 0.3% of the total light spectrum with our physical eyes. But yet, we all know the rest of the light that we can't see still exists. In the same way, we can develop what we might call superpowers to become superhuman, that is, evolve. And some of these superpowers might look like developing psychic abilities, which we all have, but we can develop it. It might look like healing using only energy. At the moment in this society, we are taught that these abilities are wrong or bad in some way, or maybe people who say they're developing them are lying. But really, developing these abilities is to consciously evolve. So if you are developing these abilities yourself, don't listen to the denigrating talk around these things, such as they're bad, evil, or lies. And also, it would really help your evolution if you would extend your awareness and your love and compassion, and don't condemn others who are trying to develop these abilities. See them for what they really are. That is part of the evolutionary process. So thank you for joining me today. For my next video, I might talk about how to speak to and contact your higher self. Wherever you are in the world, I wish you love and courage in your journey, and I'll see you next time. Take care and bye for now.